people that has been stewarded and lived upon and continues to be lived upon by the Narragansett people. I'd like to invite this morning's greeters to rise so that we can see you. If you're new here, feel free to connect with one of these people. And if you are new, please fill out the yellow welcome card in the back of your hymnal so that we can get to know you better. And you can put it in the collection basket as it goes by during the offering. And newcomers on Zoom, feel free to introduce yourselves to each other in the chat. Masks are optional here. If someone has a mask, please give them a little space. And after the service today, the religious education program will be holding an open house downstairs. We invite you to come down and see what it's like downstairs and see what we've been working on. There will be snacks. And now I invite you to rise in body or in spirit for hymn number 368 in the gray hymnal, Now Let Us Sing.
Hey, wait, do you want to do the lyrics?
Okay. So now I invite Bethany and any of the OWL kids that would like to be part of our chalice lighting. They will be reading a poem from the kindergarten first grade curriculum of OWL called Just Because I Am by Lauren Murphy Payne. And this is what they read each day of their class as they lit their chalice.
So we modified this poem, which is by Lauren Murphy Payne, and every time that we started our OWL class, we would light our special OWL chalice, and we would say that this is to remind us that for our whole lives, I am a person, I am special, I am important, not because of things I do, not because of what I look like, not because of what I have, just because I am me. We added the me. All right, let's see. I think we almost got it. This chalice is a little challenging to light. So we're up for challenges. Here, hold it one more time. We'll try again. We'll work on it.
So in this service, we are celebrating the diversity of needs represented just in this one room and also in our wider community. Each of us have needs depending on our age or our brains or our situation or even just how we're feeling in a day. And these needs change as we grow. So one important part of those needs is listening and practicing listening deeply to ourselves first and to each other. And so for our opening and closing words today, we're actually not going to have that many words. I've already said too many. We want to honor the many ways that we all process and experience our world. And Bethany actually told me something that really was important to hear this week, which was something that she learned in Quaker meeting. When we sit in silence, even that silence is not completely silent. And so we sit and we listen to whatever is there. So I'm gonna ask James, do you wanna ring our singing bowl? No. Oh my gosh. Leo, could you ring in just a minute our singing bowl that's right there up above you? And we're gonna listen. In RE, we listen to that reverberation as it moves through our bodies and through our space and out into beyond our walls. And then we have a practice of raising our hand when we can no longer hear that singing bowl. And then we're just gonna sit in that silence and count how many sounds you can hear. Okay, Leo.
No, Leo, don't do it.
Beautiful. I heard 9 sounds. You can hold up your fingers of how many sounds you heard if you'd like to. Look at all that. That was maybe the quietest we've ever done it. So I invite you to rise now in body or spirit and recite our covenant together. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. So, I've been thinking a lot about needs, and what this congregation needs, and what our families need. And I've had multiple conversations with parents, and one conversation with the kids that were here last Sunday, and just the conversations in passing and in, connecting with people individually. And so I was thinking about this sanctuary, and I was thinking about this lovely choir and our amazing choir director, Mike. And I was thinking about how, yes, right. And this actually in the facilitation trainings that I've taken is called sparkles, giving sparkles, which is like agreeing with what is being said, and it's obviously also the American Sign Language clapping. But I really like sparkles. They are like the embodiment of joy. Like, look at this sparkly wand that Maribee is holding. They reflect these little bits of light out into the world, just like we reflect light out of our hearts into the world. And the sparkles really remind me of that. So I have a bunch of shakers that I've been inherited down in RE, full of sparkles. And I also have sparkle glue. And I also have glue that is shimmery. And then if you pour the sparkles on top of that, it sticks. And so I had this idea, friends, what do you think? What if we decorated Mike's keyboard with all of those sparkles?
The stickiest one.
Yes. Uh-oh. I hear booing in the choir. I hear kids getting really excited.
Don't get excited.
Does Mike have anything to say about this? Do you have any opinions, Mike?
Oh, well, it's so hard to hear.
He didn't know I was going to say that, by the way, so this is all new.
Yeah. Sparkles are a lovely idea. They just light up. They just light up the morning, don't they?
See, I thought you just needed a little more funk in your life.
Yeah. Well, this may come as a surprise, but I have a secret underground funk business at my home.
What?
Where people come to dance and sort of get down and all that, and so I feel like with that already in my life, it could feel unbalanced to also have so much sparkle here on this piano.
Right. Balance is important. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, don't do it.
But, Okay, I have something to confess. That was actually all untrue, and I just don't want sparkle on the piano, but I didn't know how to express it. So,
Oh my gosh, so you just kind of checked in with yourself
Yeah.
and got more like your, inner wisdom and your truth.
Mm-hmm.
And your truth is actually that you just don't want sparkles on your keyboard.
That was it. Yeah.
What? That's it. I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
for voicing your truth.
Yeah, and she gave me a little heads up before the service. I didn't know it was going to
Not about
Yeah. Thank you.
I only told him that I was going to be putting him on the spot. He didn't know what spot. So that was just to illustrate that, I might like sparkles. Some of the kids might like sparkles. Sarah was very excited about sparkles.
Yeah.
But not everybody likes sparkles, and we don't always know what other people are going to want or need. So it reminds me of the golden rule. Does anybody know, what the golden rule is? Maribel, you do? What's the golden rule?
Treating someone as you would like to be treated.
That's right, treating someone as you would like to be treated. So that was me treating Mike the way that I would want to be treated, because I think it would be an amazing gift if somebody came and just bedazzled, like my car, for example. So yeah, you're welcome to. Bandit Queen is always parked out there, and she's amazing, and you could add sparkles to her. So, but it turns out that Mike, that is not how he wanted to be treated. And so, has anyone heard of the platinum rule?
No.
It's actually a thing. Of course, our academic has heard of the platinum rule.
Treat others the way they want to be treated.
Treat others the way that they want to be treated.
The exact opposite.
It's not quite the opposite, it's just listening, having a conversation with somebody, and hearing what their truth is and what their needs are. And it's actually a really important concept in allyship. So instead of us deciding, this is what I think you need based on my experience, it's, wait, what's your experience? Maybe it's different than mine, and maybe what you need and want is different than what I think that you might need and want. So it was articulated in a book called Say the Right Thing, How to Talk About Identity, Diversity, and Justice, by Kenji Yoshino and David Glasgow. And so they were thinking about the other person's perspective and how to walk a mile in their shoes. So how do you find out how somebody else wants to be treated? Yeah, you ask them, but it's so much work. It's like you have to have a relationship with them. And walking a mile in their shoes it's like hard to walk a mile in my own shoes, But I figured that we do it so well here that I think we should give it a little try right now. So I invite you to, ready everybody? Turn to the person next to you, maybe a person that you did not drive here with, and just for 1 minute, share about what you need on Sunday mornings. What do you need in order to get here? What do you need in order to really enjoy your time here? And people on Zoom can put that in the chat, just to hear a little sharing.
just a little bit?
Oh, it does,
I feel like we try to change that.
That would be amazing. Thank you. I almost cut that part. Oh, is it on? Nope. I almost cut that part out because I was worried about time and worried about fitting this, all of this into an hour. And so just spontaneously I decided to keep that piece in, and I appreciate you all just engaging with your neighbor. And I also take this moment to ask for your grace and patience if this does go more than an hour, because there are a lot of people and a lot of parts and a lot of people that we want to honor in our second half of this service. So, I just want to say that sometimes getting to know somebody takes a little bit of work, a little bit outside our comfort zone, but it's worth it to find out, you know, if they like sparkles, or if they like sitting and listening for an hour, or if they like moving and playing, or if they like hugs, or if they would rather have tea when they're sad. So just all of those pieces are how we're building relationship here together. And you know what? You all are so special and you have such big hearts. All of us just want love, really, at the end of the day, and to love others and to be loved and to make the world a better place to live. So let's just keep listening to each other and listening deeply to ourselves and our inner wisdom. And now, to represent these needs and the way that we support each other, I'm going to invite the kids that have beautiful sparkling wands to do a little dance through our sanctuary, as I invite the parents that are part of a poem to come forward. So if you have a wand, and if you don't have a wand, if you just want to take one that's already made, Michael's going to play us some music, and we're going to have a little bit of movement, a little visual moving poetry of our needs as they change and morph and move through the space. Okay. I hope this doesn't block people. We'll see. I think you're kind of in there. I think we are. There. Oh, more or less. support do I need from the parents and children of Ari?
Food, water, shelter, air.
Love.
A community to listen to each other.
Time and space to share.
I need support from other parents about how to manage climate anxiety.
I need support to prepare for the uncertainty of the future.
And you need support to prepare for the meeting.
As parents, we need less judgment.
Sleep and rest and downtime.
Nutrition.
Watermelon.
I need someone to cook me dinner sometimes.
Strawberries.
No.
Blueberries.
The ocean, the desert, and all of the nature in between.
Shared laughter.
Nice support, like helping me with art stuff and teaching me a new craft.
I need grown-ups to support me by caring about my grades at school, so it motivates me to do well.
I need support to comfort me from stress.
We need support to make mistakes and grow and be messy and loud.
Community to accept me, even if I like to play alone sometimes and am neurodivergent.
Britney Spears.
Taylor Swift.
I need to move my body.
I need to feel a sense of shared values and community.
Support in rejecting perfectionism, defensiveness, and other aspects of white supremacy.
I need a balance of activity and rest, challenge and ease, friends and solitude.
Birds and nature.
I need the support of friends to drive my kids to their activities sometimes.
Help us do classes like D&D and OWL.
Parent time, like during the first couple of OWL classes.
Support in moving from shame and judgment to love and welcome.
Swings and the playground.
Listening to music and being in nature.
Support in teaching our babies that everything is okay in moderation, even moderation.
Chocolate.
My pets.
A hand to pick me up.
An ear to listen.
Hugs.
And this is what we provide.
Kindness.
Innocence, hugs, and smiles.
Joy, that one is from Bobby.
A listening ear.
Patience.
I offer support by being friendly with people who are shy and making friends with people who don't have a lot of friends yet.
Brain cells.
I've given some people advice, especially tech-wise.
Wisdom.
I support you with monetary contributions and heaps of gratitude.
Hard work.
I offer support by acting mature so little kids can act mature too.
Lottery.
Friendship.
I could help someone draw a turtle if they want to.
I helped Lee cut apples and water the plants.
I support you by cleaning in RE.
Humor. We have some amazing party tricks in RE.
I offer support by being funny.
Someone to talk to and hang out with.
A desire to know and understand.
A hand to pick you up.
An ear to listen.
Love.
Now I invite you to rise in body or spirit to sing hymn number 395, Sing and Rejoice. And now is a sacred time in our service where we share the great joys and deep sorrows that we came with this morning. Think about the brickwork outside, but this is a pretty good ceiling. It's not the best ceiling I've ever seen, but it's up there. The offering will now be given and received. Oh, yeah. So now we enter the honoring part of our service. Oh, but first we accept the offering, which is, let's see. Thank you all for your gift of treasure, of presence, of time, and of love. We promise to use this wisely and well. Now I invite Bethany Sorrentino to come up. She is one of our 2 OWL facilitators this year for our kindergarten first grade class.
So I want to invite any owlettes who are in our owl class. So Paxton, Benjamin, Mary, Leonora. Who else do we see? I think Star's not here today. So whoever's here can come up if you want. We just wanted to tell you how wonderful we spent an 8-week session together where we learned about how special and wonderful and different our bodies and our families are. We learned about skills like consent. We practiced how to say no and what to do if somebody comes too close to you and you feel uncomfortable, and how to check in with your body, and then what to do, who to go and tell, or how to ask for help in that situation. We literally role-played things like that. And I cannot say what a big enough gift that is. My daughter was in the class as well. And for kids to be learning that, hopefully before they've been damaged, is just layers and layers of protection as they grow in this world that we're in. So it was an absolute privilege to be part of building those layers of protection around some of these wonderful kids here, and just to celebrate how awesome we all are and how different we all are, and just spending that time to celebrate ourselves. It was such a gift. So there we are. So we want to share one of the songs that we sang. And we had a real jazzy one that was called I Like the Me I See, but this one is our slow kind of closing. When we were saying goodbye often, we would sing this song.
And also when we're starting.
Yes, when we were starting. So this is the Just As You Are one. Okay, you can sing it.
And you can lean it to yourself in the mirror too.
Yes. I sing it to myself in the mirror. That's right.
So, partway through this year, we started noticing that our middle schoolers, who are in the back corner right now, they were not getting their needs met. And possibly at this moment, they are not perfectly getting their needs met. Yes. Because we had all ages sharing circles and activities, and that worked very well for a while with lots of ages interacting. And then it was less and less meeting their needs. Enter Andrew White, AKA Bobby's dad. Look, he just entered. Oh my God, I was like on cue, amazingness. So he just happened to mention to me one day in December, hey, I'm really into Dungeons and Dragons, and if you ever needed me to lead a campaign here as the Dungeon Master, I would be happy to do so. And I was like, yes. That is yes, and also yes. That's exactly what we need. That's what we need. And he just stepped in to fill this role that I didn't even fully articulate yet, not even exactly knowing what we needed. And suddenly there was this person just offering to show up and host a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. He showed up every Sunday for 4 months and kind of brought that youth room back alive with this new group of youth. And it makes me choke up, and I didn't know that he was going to be here today. So we have planned for 3 of our middle schoolers, Ezra and Sylvan and Dash, to give us a little taste of Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, Dungeons and Dragons is a role-playing game where a group of friends decides to come together and create their own characters to play, and a dungeon master will create a world for them or use a pre-made world and kind of control the world and all the characters in that world, and the players will go on quests with like goals, and they'll try and do some cool thing.
Awesome. Oh gosh, it's a dash. Here. Where is it?
Okay.
Okay.
So, an overview of our campaign, sorry. We joined the League of Associated Adventures, and they were given the task to find out what happened to people who had gone missing. So far on our journey, we have met a woodsman who was helpful because he gave us a raft to traverse the water. Then we found a druid who lived in a huge tree. He did not like the woodsman who cuts down the trees. After a quick battle with spiders, we found a circle of mushrooms that teleported us to a cave system where a mushroom man helped us by giving us healing mushrooms before sending us on our way. We finally traveled to an old abandoned tavern structure where suddenly a trap was sprung, and that's where we ended.
Yeah, so that was just a little brief overview of this story that Andrew presented to them, and each week a little bit more unfolds. So Dash just gave the overview of where they've come so far. So now Sylvan is going to let you guys in on a little example of a situation that might arise. So Andrew, as the dungeon master, would present this situation, and you would decide what to do.
Alright, so the situation is, you're traveling along a road where you meet a wandering merchant. He asks you to help him save a pet that is stuck in a tree, surrounded by hungry wolves. What would you like to do? Remember, you can do anything at all, doesn't matter. Just like, literally anything. You can just run away, doesn't matter. If you have an idea, you can raise your hand and come up.
Or just shout it out.
Or just shout it out.
Nancy.
So you could, with your magical shoes, bounce on the ground and bounce way up to the tree and land next to the pet. And take the pet and then fly over the wolves and land in a safe place.
Awesome. Any other ideas? Bethany.
Set the tree on fire.
Leo has an idea.
Leo, I didn't see you.
I just
Run away.
Run away.
Leo would run away.
Yeah, wolves are scary.
Saddle up a wolf and ride it up the tree.
She said saddle up a wolf and ride it up the tree. Any other ideas? So this is kind of like what they would do in their group. A brainstorm of options presented with this challenge or this situation.
Pax has one idea.
Oh, Pax.
You could, like, you could just walk, you could just jump on the poles and then jump into the tree and get the cat and then jump off the tree.
Yep. Yeah, lots of jumping. Awesome. Yeah.
And then, once you had decided collectively, you would tell your DM what you wanted to do and choose the right people for the job, and they would say, jump on the wolf, and then get the cat. So, you would take your dice, you'd roll it, and if you got like an 18 out of 20, these 20-sided dice, you could be able to jump onto the wolf and up onto the tree and grab the cat. And then you could like roll again to get down, and then you could bring it back to the merchant. And also, each character is good at different things. Like, one character might be really good at, like, telling people what to do, or like, convincing people to do stuff. And another character could be like really strong. He'd be like, want to jump up onto the tree and save the wolf. Yeah?
How do you make the decision? You say you decide collectively of which option to choose. How do you make the decision of which option after the brainstorm?
Usually everybody or some people say different things, and basically the party decides what sounds the most likely to work and what is most likely to happen. And sometimes you just have one idea that they all go with, and sometimes you can have one player do one thing and one player do another thing. So like, while the big strong player could jump up on the tree and save the cat, you could have the character that's good at convincing things to go up to the wolf and saddle it up. And now you have a wolf.
So it's kind of like honing in on each person's ability, like what they're really good at, and maybe what they need and what's needed in this situation, and then they decide together what to do.
Do you have to reach consensus as a group?
We're getting into a lot of details,
I know.
and I'm noticing the time. But you know what? These fine fellows, I bet, would be happy to talk to any of you afterwards about Dungeons and Dragons. And now I want to just invite all of the kids that have ever played Dungeons and Dragons to go give Andrew a giant high five, and maybe Bobby too, because Bobby allows his dad to come do this every Sunday. Yeah.
So guys, I want to invite all of you Dungeons and Dragons players to come to the Wonder Academy, because we're going to have challenge games that are going to take exactly that kind of brainstorming together. They'll take team building and working together to do these tasks.
So we're having a whole RE service, and I have not written one thing about our summer program, so I'm glad that Nancy just said that. We are planning this whole week full of adventure for all ages, kindergarten through 8th, and for our middle schoolers, we have some really awesome plans of challenges that are for their age and ability. We're also making foam swords on the first day. So more about that later. So now we are going to shift to another kind of honoring. This one is honoring our graduating senior. So Sailor Skids has been coming to this congregation for 5 years, I just found out. They came a few times before the pandemic, and then when we opened back up, started coming regularly with their dad, Dennis Skids. And I would see them sitting in service sometimes when we started upstairs, and then the kids would parade past, and I would kind of glance to my left and think, I wonder if that person would want to come downstairs, but I can't tell how old they are. And so another week would go by, and then another, and then I would finally be upstairs again, and I would see them, and I'd think, oh yeah, I have to come back after service and find out about that family. And then finally, Bethany had a conversation with them and found out that Sailor was in high school. And so I made the effort then to actually have a conversation and invite them down again. And it turns out, yes, they would like to come spend their time downstairs with us. And I don't know why it took so long, but it's another example of how hard it is sometimes to get to know each other's needs and desires, because it means stepping out of our normal comfort zone or just our normal pattern of who we interact with. But it's so worth it, because you just might find the next best person in your life that way. So Sailor has just been an absolute blessing to us in RE. They show up every morning, right at 10 a.m., often before any other children have arrived, and they ask what they can help with. So they set up crafts, and they help right away when kids need help with those crafts. They offer their insight and ideas during discussion, like explaining to us what imaginal goo is inside of a chrysalis when a Caterpillar just turns into goo. And also just lots of ideas about justice and inclusion and interdependence. And I love that they always jump in to work in the garden or to write on our whiteboard or to play with Bobby. And I know that you will jump into this next phase of your life with all of the care and love that you have brought here to Ari. So I invite you to come up and let us know what that next phase of your life is going to be.
Thank you for.
Let's make sure it's on. You just
Thank you for honoring me. I really enjoyed getting to know you all over the past few years and getting to spend more time with Ari. Thank you all, and I am excited to go to U Albany next year.
So I'm inviting you back up, Sailor. Because this little chalice is for you. It represents all of the love of your friends and your family and your community and this congregation, all held in this little cup. And the candle that's in it is something just to carry with you as you navigate on the next steps of your journey. And just to remember that no matter how far away you travel, that you always have a home here. You can always come back and refill that cup anytime you need to. And we're gonna take this flame that we light every day, we're gonna give a little bit of it to you, to carry with you on your journey. And I invite the congregation to repeat after me. May you go forth in courage.
May you go forth in courage.
May you carry this flame of peace in your heart.
May you carry this flame of peace in your heart.
May you bring all of this love out into the world.
May you bring all of this love out into the world.
And any kids that have a sparkle wand still, you can come give Sailor a little bit of sparkle as they walk back to their seats. And a hand sparkle. We love you, Sailor. And I also want to acknowledge that we have another graduating senior in our midst. He is not a member of the congregation, but I just want to acknowledge Simon, who is also graduating. We are so grateful for you, and we're going to honor you in the next month at some point. So I invite you all to rise now in body or spirit to sing our closing hymn, number 163.
We're
gonna sing, ready?
Maybe it's a okay. We're gonna do an activity that takes a lot of audience participation. So these are our closing words. Yeah. I don't know if y'all noticed, but it was pretty stormy this week. I had to find new roads to navigate to school. And we're gonna make our own storm now. For you kids, this is kind of like a game we've been playing in RE called Conductor, where we have to pay attention to the leader and follow their instructions like we are our own orchestra. Actually, I'm gonna go here.
Okay, go for it.
I can't, yeah, right, okay. So everyone in the audience, I'm gonna ask that you either snap your fingers Or if that's not something you can do, just pat your lap. And this is our raindrops, right? So if you have a ribbon wand, would you like to be our wind? That could be thunder too. Or lightning. And then when I snap these blocks together, keep patting, but start stomping your feet. And we're gonna be our own roar of thunder. Then there's calm, maybe a few drops of rain. And then it picks back up again. It gets heavier and heavier, and think that your house is gonna cave in because the rain is so powerful. And boom, thunder. And the wind near me rushes around. And then it's still. We extinguish this chalice, but not
Not its light.
that we
Let
take
we
with
take
us
with us
out into the
out into the
world,
world.
sharing it with
For
those we
those
encounter on our journey. I invite you to rise and make a circle as you're willing and able, or stay. What are we doing? And yeah, we remind you that we are having an RE open house downstairs with snacks directly after this service. So join us.
Carry the flame of peace and love till we meet again. Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again. Carry the flame of peace and love until